I could not say about that because the game between Setu FC and Kickstart was very close because Setu won just by 2-1. It was a very close encounter. Yes, when we talk about the Gokulam FC, they thrashed them by 5-0. It was a one-sided affair. But today, again, Kickstart also need that victory, which is very important for them so that they can finish on high. They can always say that, yes, except the two teams, which were very strong team, we won all the games. So, there is a lot of positive from the result, which can help the team to make it more stronger. The investors, the owners can look up to it and get some quality foreigners, and maybe they can also be one of the contender for next season IWL.
And both the teams, they love playing the attractive brand of football, and they have nothing to lose this evening. And expecting an open game.
It will be an open game. We cannot say that it will be a one-sided affair. But yes, looking at the strength and weaknesses of both the teams, I feel Kickstart will have an upper hand because they have a lot of wins in their bag. They have experienced players also, as we have discussed about them. But these girls are also rallying. They are rallying. They also want to prove themselves. And when you play your last game, you always want to finish on high. So it will be a very close encounter. But I feel somehow Kickstart will sneak in by a goal or two.
And just to touch down its potential final between Setu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala, are you expecting a very tactical game? Gokulam Kerala, they do have that habit of making a fast start, and Setu Madurai will have to weather that storm very carefully in the opening frame.
You hit the nail at the right place because we know the way Gokulam FC start their game. In the initial 15-20 minutes, they are up by 2-3 goals. So when you're up by 2-3 goals, you already put the opponent team on back foot. Their morale goes down. So if Setu FC are smart enough to hold them, or at least for the first 15-20 minutes, then the game will be heading to a different direction. If they concede early goals, then it will be again, I can say, a one-sided affair where Gokulam FC can score even 4-5 goals also. But to hold them for those 15-20 minutes and up to the first half, then the pressure will build. But again, looking at the firepower which Gokulam FC has, I have no doubt that they're going to win the game and they're going to win very convincingly.
How crucial is going to be the role of the fullbacks tonight? We've seen Dali Machiba, she's in red hot form. Ranjana Chanu, the left fullback, and also Pakpi Devi of Setu Madurai, as she has scored 4 goals so far. How do you see to this battle?
Yes, to be honest, I have never said it on media, but yes, one of my favorite player, women footballer, if I talk, is Dalima Chibba, because I was her coach also when I was coach of the under-16 women's team that time. So I've been knowing her since a very long time. Very hardworking, very dedicated girl. The presence she has, she is so intelligent. She has that intelligence of a top class player who can play at any level. So she, the kind of deliveries which she is providing at the international level also and at the Gokulam FC also, it's amazing. That coordination, that understanding between Dalima and her strikers is amazing, and I feel that she might assist today. And if there is a free kick around the penalty area, you may also see her taking that wonder strike which she also took against Nepal, which is one of the finest goal which we saw in women's football.
And talking about Sandhya, the jersey number 7 of Setu Madurai, she plays on the left flank and was also awarded the player of the tournament back in 2019 in the Hero Indian Women's League. She is also a creative force, to be precise, for Setu Madurai up top.
Yes, Sandhya, we can never rule her out. She has been the player of the tournament 2 years back. She's an experienced player. But again, because lack of the game, what happens if you don't get that consistency, your training and the games? Unfortunately, we also discussed due to the pandemic, the footballing activities were stopped. The players were not getting that enough time to keep themselves fit. Not only fit, but the football fitness is different than general fitness. So everybody is suffering. But again, if you talk about Gokulam FC, they have the team consists of a lot of international players. So they got that exposure trip, but Setu FC didn't had those opportunity for long camps. But again, credit to them, the kind of football they played, they made this league interesting. Otherwise, the way Gokulam FC was playing, it would have finished at least 2 3 rounds before. But they might have become champions, but they kept this league alive and till the 90th minute, the final minute, I think so. It's going to be alive. It will be anyone's game.
It is also a battle between the two African forwards, Elizabeth of Setu Madurai and El Shaddai of Gokulam Kher. And El Shaddai, she is currently on 19 goals with 4 hat tricks. She's in a red hot form and ruthless going forward.
She's a super red hot form. She is an amazing player and kind of football she's playing. It's so easy for her. Kind of play she's having, the kind of player she's having in Gokulam FC, the kind of balls, the assists which she's been provided. By Win also. So it is so important, and yes, it will be a tale of two strikers. Let us see which African striker scores most goal in tonight's game.
Do you think the absence of Winton, the Myanmar international, can be a factor for Gokulam Kerala in this game?
Again, yes, Wintan was one of the most creative player, the most number of assists in this league. She is the one who has done, and I feel Gokulam FC going to miss her because this is a very important game. But looking at the kind of players, Gokulam FC they have Al Shaddai, they have Manisha, they have Grace, the kind of firepower they have in the attacking line. I don't think so. It will be much of a problem if Wintan is not playing.
And you've been part of the Delhi Dynamo setup previously. During season break, how's the training schedule? What are the expertise provided to the players?
So, we always talk about the team, but there is a team behind the team. A lot of people work behind the team, and we talk about doctors, we talk about physios, the masseurs, the assistant coach, the goalkeeper coach, the fitness trainer, and a whole lot of people. So yes, during the transition phase, when we talk about when the players are not, before the preseason, there is a kind of a schedule which is given to all the players. There is an individual schedule also where players have to keep themselves fit. They have to, a diet plan also has been shared with them. So when they come for the first day of the preseason, they are not overweighted, they are not unfit, they are not injured. If they're injured, their injuries has to be cleared because they can visit the physios who are appointed by the club, or clubs can arrange some kind of those treatment facilities available at their places. So if the players who are having the long-term contract will definitely benefit out of it. Then, but now modern football, everything is available on the click of a button. Internet is such a powerful tool where if you don't have a coach, also you can get a lot of information through the internet.
Well, before I end this, my last question. So next season gonna be a longer duration, as we hear, Durand Cup of 41 days, starting from August, ISL and I League from October till March, and then the Super Cup in the month of April. How welcoming is it gonna be? Federation also planning to start the youth leagues, which were halted due to the pandemic last couple of years.
I feel no other news can be as exciting, as good as this news. A football league or a football season from say August to May, almost a 9 month season, which is something we always wanted. Because unfortunately, the league structure in India was not that great. Within 4 months or 5 months, the league was over, and the transition period for the player or the preseason period has been so long, which was not realistic. But now, 9 months is amazing, where we are starting with Durand Cup, where 20 teams are going to participate in the groups, 4 groups, 5 teams. So minimum 4 games they go to play, minimum 4 games. And from then they go to ISL, where they go to play minimum 20 games. And post the ISL, they go to play the Super Cup, where they go to again play minimum of 4 games. So in a calendar year, minimum 28 games, all the teams are going to play, which is a very good sign. And as per the guidelines, the mandate of the AFC, if you want to participate in the AFC league tournaments or league club championships, we have to play a minimum of 27 official games. So we are touching, or we are ticking that box of completing 27 games, because we are already playing 1 game extra, that is 28, which is again a very good thing. Our players will get an opportunity. There will be international breaks also, so players will be fit for the international duties also. So coaches won't be worried about the fitness part or other parts. It's good. I hope the same kind of things is also planned for the youth system as well as the women's football also. So slow, steadily, we'll have a kind of a calendar which is full of football, and you are also busy, and I am also busy, and everyone is busy on the field and off the field.
Well, that brings us to the end of our pre-match discussion, and thank you so much, Shakti sir, for being with us throughout the course of the season. And now, time to go back to the Capital Ground for the live action.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Well, 5 points separates Indian Arrows and Kickstart Football Club in the Hero Indian Women's League, and with the league season coming to an end, Kickstart have already secured the third spot. A win here will take them to 27 points, but Indian Arrows will remain fourth even with a win. For them, will also be enough to finish into the top four in their debut season, and it would be a big setup for the young Tigress. And it helped them to get the experience they need to prepare them for the international football in future. And the players are getting the experience of playing against the best in the country and play against a new opponent every week, which will help them understand how to perform against different kind of teams. And it will ultimately be good for the players and for the team as well. Well, the Indian Arrows project is aimed at building for the future while giving the talented youngsters regular playing time in the domestic league, and while the focus on improving the footballing attitude and aptitude of the players remains paramount important, and the coaching staff at the Indian Arrows is also looking to ensure overall development for this Arrows side. And then the head coach Suren Chetri shared his thoughts on the final game of the season.
Yeah, we try to finish in a style. We are planned to win the game today. Let's see.
You are facing Kickstart and they are third place today. So any thoughts regards to them?
Yeah, Kickstart is a good team. They are already secured the third position, but we are playing for the fourth position. And in the morning, I think still they won the game and they secured the fourth. If we win, then we'll in the fourth. So we are fighting for the fourth place.
Any words for the girls?
Yeah, the girls are motivated. They are eager to win the match today.
This is the Indian Arrows lineup for this evening. Only one change from Suren Chetri as he sticks with the same 11, and there is no need to change the dynamic midfield pivot, of course, of Muskan and Martina, but it is an attack where the Arrows' riches are all arranged. Priyanka Devi, Apurna Narzari and Sunita Munda are all more than able to change games on their own. Priyanka in a slightly advanced role, and then add her set-piece deliveries, and Kickstart will be chasing if they don't close down the supply lines. And well, Suren Chetri has asserted that he will attack, and if they score one more than the opponent, and why not? He has an intense game to deal with, and momentum will be important to build. And Aarti is a great option to have, but can come on late and cause real problems, but it comes down to the match situation. And talking about Kickstart Football Club, being the unbeaten hat-trick champions in the Karnataka Women's League speaks a lot about their dedication and commitment to the Kickstart style of football in the Hero Indian Women's League 2022. The continuous support they have received from the fans is reinforcing both their conviction in uplifting women in sports in India, and they have bigger plans ahead for their super talented players. And they primarily focus on women's empowerment, and that is the core of their football philosophy, which has resulted in developing some of the best talented players playing for the state of Karnataka at national level. And the club has top players who have played for the Indian national team and have remained committed to the vision of Kickstart, which has resulted in the club winning a hat-trick in the Karnataka Women's League as the club unbeaten champions for the last 3 years. And well, Amruta Vilayat, the head coach, expressed her thoughts ahead of this tie.
So this is the last game of the season, and we need to finish off on style. Indian Arrows, the youngest side of AFF. So after a defeat, I think they will be able to win this match. So we are only focused on finishing this game with a win and back 3 points.
Your thoughts on your campaign of IWL this season?
Yeah, this all season very positive for us because a lot of thrilling wins and we were played 10 matches and out of 10 it's 8 victory and 2 loss. It's, our girls presenting an amazing season this year.
Kickstart Football Club, they're going up to this particular game and they will look to finish strongly, but they must have a proper start, and so their defense needs to be solid. And Nirmala Devi returned alongside Sweetie Devi at the centre back, and Amrutha brought back the midfield duo of Baby Sana and Margaret. And Parameshwari has scored 5 and created 5 and is having her most productive Hero Indian Women's League campaign. She starts just behind Roja Devi, and Pakpi's brace against Ara FC was the quick fire double that changed the complexion of the game. And Amruta Vilayat's big task as a head coach was to make Kiran Balakavya and Baby Sana click as they did earlier in the season. And Roja keeps her place and slowly found her feet in front of goal. For Amruta, Bibicha Devi and Anjali Chanu, 2 subs combined off the bench to create that winner against Ara FC. And well, the match official, the referee for today's game is Jotin Moinag, and he's going to be assisted by Jyoti Gaur and Chim Chim Seto. The 4th official is Usha and match commissioner Adlai Costa. A win will take Kickstart to 27 points and will keep them 3rd, and the Arrows can reach up to 22, so no chance for them to exceed Kickstart, and they are guaranteed 4th place, and that is only by winning this evening. And they still have that 1 point gap between them and Odisha Sports. They've won the game against Mata Rukmini earlier in the day, and the Chhattisgarh based side finishing at the bottom of the table. And well, Kickstart's gambles in the games against RIFC pay dividends, and while dozen players is starting 11 rule A as often as her South Football Group counterpart Anthony Andrews, and she does make changes to affect situation off the bench. Kickstart Football Club, they have dropped 6 points from winning position in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League, and 3 of those were dropped against Setu. The Southerners have had a 2-1 loss against them, and there was that crazy 7-0 victory for Kickstart when Roja Devi scored a brace, and she continues to keep her place in the starting 11 today, as Margaret and Martina Tokcham are the 2 skippers with Jotin Moinag. He will be officiating this game, and the main man in the middle. There are girls in form at the other end as well. Apurna Narzari, Sunita Munda, Priyanka, all involved in goals against Mata Rukmani Football Club and are looking dangerous again. And they will know Kickstart are prone to lapses at the back and will want to pounce on them like they did in the previous encounter. And Parameshwari Iram did not start that game, but she did come on and she did affect it. So very unconscious Kickstart must be, and also brave and bold. It is going to be like walking a tightrope with one end in the hands of Indian Arrows. Indian Arrows, their first football can work wonders when it comes together, and the addition of more pace down the wings has helped that cause. Sunita Munda and Aarti in tandem can spell all kinds of danger as we are in for a fine game here. And of course, the young Tigress, they are 3 goals away from creating their record of 24 goals, and that too in their debut season. And if only they can even get those numbers or even break the points tally. And the bigger incentive though, the incentive of being in the provisional Hero Indian Women top 4 spot. And so Kickstart's clean sheets have all come against teams below them in a tough run, and that must change, and which is why probably Amruta Vilayat hasn't tinkered them. But Suren will remember what Setu did to his side last time they met, and a rousing return to form is what they need, and they will have to contend with the pace, trickery and delivery from the likes of Parameshwari Idam and of course Baby Sana. This season they've won 7 already. At the end of it all, there could be positives to take, and one of those positives could be to finish into the top 3, for which they have already secured the top 3 spot. And so, like every other day, we must be reminded in the Hero Indian Women's League that which teams have it in them to make the top 3 when there is hardly any space to breathe. This is Sweetie Devi of Kickstart, her first touch of the ball, and Kavya with a very clever turn. Kavya with a low cross towards Margaret and opens up towards the right edge of the area. Excellent defensive work from Priyanka, the number 25. This is Priyanka Devi. Kickstart on the attack. She's up against Pushpa Rani Chanu. It's going to be a throw-in for the team in green. This is, however, a new element to the league this season. As the Indian Arrows over the past few years, we have seen the Arrows compete in the I-League and later supply the senior men's national team with a number of talented youngsters. And now the Indian Arrows women's team is also featuring in the Hero IWL for the first time this season. They have impressed everyone with their attractive brand of football, aiming to finish into the top 4. Just a point between them and Sports Odisha, the home team. And Apurna Narzari and Priyanka Devi exchange passes. Sunita Munda using her hands, and so a free kick against her. This is Linthoi Gambi with the free kick. Squaring it towards Sweetie Devi. And now Pakpi. As I was talking about, her very attack-minded fullback. Likes to maraud down the flanks. She scored a brace for Kickstart against RIFC. And also among goals, scored 4 goals in Kickstart colours this season. Her attacking threat down the right channel reminds me of Surkumar Singh during his prime. She also comes from Manipur, as Apurna Narzari idealizes Holycharan Narzari, the India international who has lifted the Hero ISL title with Hyderabad FC this season. It is always good when the Indian players try and emulate the Indian stars rather than comparing them with the next Messi or next Ronaldos. And definitely this Hero Indian Women's League helping the Indian Arrows players to gain experience that will prepare them for the international football in future, and the players getting the experience of playing against the best in the country, playing against a new opponent every week and getting exposed to different kind of styles, which will definitely help them to understand how to perform against different kind of opponents, and that will ultimately be good for the players and for the team as well, as the Indian Arrows are currently occupying the 5th spot, having accumulated 19 points from 10 matches. The Arrow squad mostly consisting of the youngsters, and they are those that they have the experience of playing for the Blue Tigress. Martina Thakcham is one of them, Sunita Munda, Apurna Narzari, Priyanka Naurem as well. It's a decent bench with Aarti, Shanmuga, Priya, Lakra. All can be called upon if required. As Suren Chetri has done a remarkable job. It's never easy handling such a young squad. And quite successful in playing the brand of football which he wanted to. There's Lindy. And looking long. This is Margaret. It's turn and pass. Pushpa Rani Chanu. She is up against Kavya. Kavya has got Roja Devi for support. Roja Devi dinks it into the box. There was that covering defender, Shashi Kumar. Arrows play the ball quickly out of their own half. And Priyanka Devi is leading the charge. She is aided by Pakpi Devi. And now Priyanka continuing with her run, plays it onto her namesake. Both the namesakes combining well. Priyanka Naurem's cross in. Sunita Munda was waiting in the middle and beautifully cut out. There by Nirmala Devi. Excellent defense work. And Parameshwari Idam. She will look to keep it in play. Roja Devi. While the focus on improving the fortitude and aptitude of the players remains paramount, the coaching staff of the Indian Arrows is looking to ensure overall development of this Arrows team, and few of the girls have also gone for their exams previously. They need to understand that they are footballers, but studies are also important for their overall development. They just cannot focus on football and neglect academics, but both are equally important. Purna Narzari is quite a central striker. And those two on the wings. Sunita operating from the right and Priyanka from the left. And Priyanka Devi, the number 10, into that free role behind the front three. And Muskan and Martina will be sitting deep. I can concentrate more on having the security of double pivot behind her. She doesn't always have to track back and think about what's happening behind her. Now Sunita Munda holding on to the challenge. Apurna Narzari cannot go past Sweetie Devi. She stands on there. This is Roja. Just urging Parameshwari Idam to make that diagonal run. But the Arrows defense was aware of the fact. There's Martina. And over the top. The chase is on from Sunita Munda. The defender was alert to the danger. Lintoy going for the Arrows. This is Apurna, hustled off the ball. Muskan wins it back. Selling one dummy is Mart. Her low shot comes off the green wall. Martina bossing in its central circle area. Looking to combine with Muskan. Quickly closed down. Apurna Narzari dropping into those pockets of space in midfield. The 4-3-3 makes use of three highly specialized midfielders, and that makes for a rather oppressive midfield when utilized, as 4-3-3 provides the most controlling midfield in football. In the other formations, the midfield players may be required to carry out several roles, and the midfielders in the 4-3-3 have the sole task of setting the tempo of the game and linking defense to attack. Linthoi Gambi. She is dispossessed. The first time cross towards Priyanka. She made a run into the box. Linthoi Gambi, she's had a brilliant season between the sticks for Kickstart. Conceded 12 goals in 10 games and scored 32 times. On the side from Karnataka, a slight cut on her knee. Seems like she's twisted her ankle, and there it is. Had to come out and then buckled that left knee. And so Parameshwari Edam of Kickstart Football Club has brought to the fore a number of talented youngsters by guiding them. A few veterans like her also dominate the scene at the respective clubs. She's been part of Blue Tigress in the past, 2 times Hero Indian Women's League winner with Eastern Sporting Union back in 2017 and Gokul Kerala in 2020. She helped the Manipur-based side to win their 21st Hero Senior Women's National Football Championship title, and was also named the most valuable player in the tournament this season, which was held in Kerala. And now at Kickstart, Parameshwari is leading the Bengaluru club to secure the top 3 spot on the table. It is Kickstart's second season, and playing for this club for the very first time is Parameshwari Edam. And they have lost both to Gokulam and Setu out of the title race, but still they will look to win the remaining game this evening, and eyeing for a strong finish. Header from Martina. Helps it forward was Priyanka. Kickstart looking compact at the back. This is Parameshwari Edam again. The 33-year-old must be at the twilight stage of her career, but the tricky attacker is planning to remain within the beautiful game in her native village. in Manipur. Once she retires, she would love to give back to the sport. She wants to start off at the grassroots level. Whatever footballing knowledge she's gained over the years, she would like to impart to the young kids in her locality, as there are so many kids who come to her village ground to play, and whenever she is there, they take tips from her. Played every edition of the Indian Women's League so far. She feels that the women's football has come a long way since the conception of the Hero Indian Women's League. As we approach the first quarter of the game, it's 0-0 between Indian Arrows and Kickstart. Both the defense yet to be tested. And having more of the ball is the team in green. This is Kavya. She would look to reinforce her popularity. Had an inconsistent run of games, Kavya, but good height on the cross. It only helps Adrija. A comfortable height for the goalkeeper, and she would be expecting crosses more of that height all day long. Here's Apurna. Look how deep she's dropping to recover the ball. Nirmala Devi. Kickstart playing a high line in defense. Sweetie Devi defending aggressively. And getting the block in place is Martina. She is a bit of a mental block for the attackers, almost gotten into the minds of the opposition. Very difficult to move her off the ball. And does the interception and breaks up play and formulate moves down the wings and down the middle. She has been the heartbeat of this Indian Arrows team. And kept in play by Priyanka. Priyanka with a clever ball in. And Nirmala Devi making sure Priyanka Naurem cannot go past her. That is the shielding I was talking about. And Kickstart season starting with that 3-1 win over PIFA. And Nirmala Devi was the goal scorer. The first goal scorer of this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. Clean set of heels from Kavya. Kavya's deep cross. Keeper fumbles. Straight at Adrija Parameshwariram. Just diving onto the number one. The referee blows the whistle for a foul. This was the cross I was talking about. An excellent deep delivery. It looked dangerous. And the goalkeeper just stretched out off her line. Suren and expecting an early goal from his side, and that will settle their nerves. That will help his side to get into the rhythm. Yet to take control of this game. The Kickstart is dominating so far in terms of keeping possession, but no clear-cut chances for either of the sides. But this Kavya causing all kinds of chaos inside the Arrows box. Cross has got to be of that quality more often than not. The 2021 season of the Hero Indian Women's League is all set to win down to a grandstand finish, with Setu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala level on 30 points apiece at the top of the table. A draw would be enough for the Malabarians to defend their title, as they are ahead in goal difference, and while Setu FC need those 3 points to claim their second title. And surprisingly, whichever team gets their hands on the trophy, and that is going to be their second title, as both the teams have won the Hero Indian Women's League previously. Just gone past Martina into the feet of Kavya. Kavya looking to take on Martina, double teamed by Pushpa Rani, winning a corner kick for her efforts, the number 99. First corner kick of the game, then Kavya's delivery, too much power onto it, swung out of play for a goal kick. Free kick quickly taken, not allowed. You'll have to retake. There's the number 13 Pakpi on your screen. And now Martina in set piece duties for the Arrows. Martina puts the ball into the penalty. Completely missing the spin on it, Pakpi Devi. Went for the first time clearance. Adjusting it down, Priyanka. The low ball away from Nirmala Devi for a throw-in. The defensive midfielders can sometimes have difficulties establishing contact with the centre forwards further up the pitch, and On top of that, they must cover its entire length, which means a lot of running work. And the formation well